Quite the religious guy, aren't you, Peter?
Does having morals make one religious? The kingdom of God differentiates between sheep and goat, not by morals but by faith.
Well, those morals are in question, aren't they?
When are they not? In a world where sin prevails over all rather than God.
Alright. That's enough. Your interrogation here is for the murder of His Majesty King Henry VIII.
Does God bleed? How can one murder His Majesty, the ruler of heaven and earth?
Cut the act! I know you're kind, you want to purify our church, but who's to say that plan doesn't entail the death of His Majesty King Henry VIII?
Our agreement says to not lie with Henry VIII, but with the Catholic Church.
Likely story, but maybe this will jog your memory. Here's what I think. Maybe you don't like the Catholic Church, but you definitely don't like how His Majesty kept some of their traditions.
Let's go back a couple of years. Henry VIII passes the Act of Supremacy, breaking off from the Catholic Church and declaring himself supreme head of the Anglican Church. At the time, maybe you thought the ends justified the means. Maybe you didn't care that Henry pulled this little stunt just to divorce his wife. But over time, you realized that Henry wasn't anti-Catholic, but anti-Rome. That Henry's new church kept a lot of the Catholicism and mixed in a little more corruption. And I think the only solution was murder. Nothing to say for yourself? I think I've heard enough.
The fair mistress of the now deceased King Henry VIII. Are these yours, Mistress Cleves?
No.
These were found at the scene of the murder.
They are much too big to be mine. In fact, they appear quite manly to me.
According to my file here, you were rather careless, even graceful, when Henry decided to annul your marriage. Is there something you've kept hidden, perhaps?
I have never held anything against the king. He had been nothing but generous to me. I am much saddened by his death.
Maybe it's my skepticism, but something doesn't add up.
When he married His Majesty, it was no secret that the underlying motive wasn't exactly love. Rather, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think His Highness really wanted to marry England and your brother's kingdom. And what does that leave you? A pawn in a political alliance? Worse, when the Catholic states failed to form an alliance, you weren't even a piece on the chessboard. Divorced, just like that. Maybe you and Henry played friends after the divorce, but I, personally, find it difficult to believe that you harbored no resentment. I mean, why wouldn't you? Nothing to say? Let's just hope, for your sake.
Oh, taste the cat at the Irish coffee shop. Do you remember that, King Ferdinand?
How could anyone remember anything from your constant bickering?
Cold, calm, and clammy, aren't we? How about we add killer to that list?
I'm far from a killer, I can assure you.
Can you assure me Henry's little debacle with the Catholic Church didn't damper your relationship?
I think puts more of a damper on relationships other than your damn aggression.
Speaking of relationships, did His Majesty's divorce with your daughter, Catherine, create any animosity?
Rather, Joy, her divorcing that fool was the best thing that happened to you.
Why a fool?
A fool for disregarding his own religion.
Perhaps not, but it would certainly fit the bill for the Catholic monarch to murder such a fool when it dares to challenge the Church.
It would. But wouldn't it also be foolish to challenge me, a devout Catholic, of murder?
Nothing's improbable, Ferdinand. Could you tell me what this is?
I can't read this. Why are you showing this?
Your wife can't she?
My wife can. Why?
Well, you're Catholic. Simple as. We found a pair of leggings at the murder.
What leggings? She doesn't wear leggings.
Bit strange. Could you tell me what this is?
I can tell you what it is, but aren't you Christian? You should know what this means as well.
I'm the detective here, Ferdinand.
You're a detective, but you sure can read, right?
Exodus 20, the 10 Commandments. Most notably, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not murder.
Above them all is justice. and justice to a sinner is not yet murder.
Memento Leviticus.
It was a cascade of troubles, wasn't it, Ferdinand? The year before he split away from the church, His Majesty divorced your beloved daughter. For what reason? Her infidelity of birthing your next heir? Is that when the seed of hatred was planted? Did it bloom into murder when His Majesty left and broke away from the church to divorce her without the Pope seething down his neck? Did you want to take it into your own hands?
It's murder on the dance floor. But you better not kill the groove, DJ. Gonna burn this goddamn house right down.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I know about your kind. And so I'll have to play. If you think you're getting away, I will prove you wrong. I'll take you all the way. Boy, just come along. Hear me when I say, hey. It's murder on the dance floor. But you better not kill the groove. Hey, it's murder on the dance floor. But you better not steal the moves, DJ. Gonna burn